Hey, good morning, good afternoon. It's Tisha with Tisha Talks Live. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in. If you are watching this on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, also off of Kevin's Twitter and his LinkedIn, great to have you here today. If you have never seen a Tisha Talks Live show, I love getting into good conversations with good people, specifically with entrepreneurs who can give some tips, some strategies, and so forth. So today, Kevin Logan Jr. is joining me out of Seattle. And we're going to be talking about how to create content around your personal brand. So if that's a topic that you want to tune into, if you have questions about that, highly encourage you to come on in, check out the conversation and ask those questions. And if you even can't watch the live, you can watch the replay. It is being recorded and you can always ask us questions that way too. But once again, Tisha here, and I am out in Arizona. So for those of you who are in Arizona with me, isn't it beautiful? It's just a gorgeous day. Happy Friday to everybody. And I just want to start off with a couple of announcements. So big thanks to this sponsor, Gateway Bank, out here in Arizona by me. And they just great support of the community, doing a lot in the community as well, opening up a second branch. So shout out to James Christensen and his team. And of course, have a couple of connecting through community events coming up in December. So if you are in the Arizona area and Chandler specifically, I'm hosting a blood drive with the American Red Cross on December 15th. We're also hosting a toy drive to benefit Sunshine Acres. And the next day, turn around and doing a nonprofit event with REITs across America. So if you are wanting to help support with that, just DM me and I can give you that information as well. But before we get started, we bring Kevin in. Little dance video to get us started. And thanks so much for people, again, who are tuning in. You can always leave us a comment as we get going. Hey, well, welcome back. I saw Kevin dancing a little bit in the green room, just swaying. So I know he's ready. He's ready to come on. So let's bring him in. Kevin Logan Jr. Hey, thanks so much for being here today. I love the hat. I just love the whole outfit.
Thank you. Thank you. Happy Friday. It's my best projection of like happiness going into the weekend. I mean, come on, it's Mickey. And then I feel like at this point, now granted, I probably need like more hats at this point, but I feel like it's like a part of me. It's a part of my identity. So I'm just gonna run with it and just keep wearing it.
I love it. You know, it's how I feel about Converse, or even Chinese Converse, as I like to put it. Like, I need just comfy shoes. Always, what is your style and how does that relate to your personal brand, which is what we're going to be talking about today. So we've got comments blowing up. I haven't even had a chance to take a look at those. So let's go ahead and see who's here. We've got some people joining us off of LinkedIn.
What's up, Daphne?
Okay.
Royce?
Daphne,
Liam?
Blake, Liam, yeah, great to have you guys. Cool hats, the man with the personal branding plan. I'm so excited to talk about this because you know, Kevin, that I love personal branding and I am like a stickler for you have to have one. You have got to have one. And I feel like I'm meeting more and more people who are like, but why? I work for a company. So let's start there. So who needs a brand and why do they need one? And when is a good time to actually start creating the brand?
Yeah, it's a great question. So, you know, I feel like these last 3 years post the pandemic have been quite illuminating for that piece right there. And I think a lot of the demarcation point where this is going to change and really accelerate is that. And it's because it was that moment that billions of people could have that same perspective, that same moment of clarity, which is, holy crap, this life is short and I should do what I want to do with it. And I think that's manifested itself in so many different ways, which is the acceleration of a creator economy, and everything else you're seeing. But to tie it back to the person that's at the employer, right? What
Mhm.
have we seen in the last 4 years? We've seen it go from the employee market back to the employer market to the employee market. Like there's all this, right? It's very volatile. But in the volatility has been this amazing thing that I've witnessed with myself, with other creators around me, and even with employees of organizations that want to stand out. And that's a personal brand. That's an ability to put a personality behind a skill set. And so, in addition to the personal brand part, I'm also a recruiter. And so
Mhm.
I'll have these interesting conversations with hiring managers where the first, we'll have a 30-minute chat. In the first 25 minutes, it's skill set, hard skill, this skill, need this skill, this skill. And then right after we're discussing all these skills they need, they're like, what's their personality like though? How are they going to
Ah,
fit with this team? Are they a culture fit? And so, when I'm searching out and sourcing for people, there's this dichotomy of like, I need to match up your skills. It's like, yeah, perfect. But the moment I have that, the exact next thing I need to know is your personality. So if there's any way that you can help me figure out what that personality is like, how it's going to interact with this team, how that skill is going to apply to this, like how it's all going to, then you're going to win. I'm going to reach out to you so much faster because I'll have an idea as to what this call is going to be like. But for
mhm.
people, for instance, where let's just say you have nothing on your LinkedIn, and I'm not saying this is wrong, but you don't post anything in your experience section, you don't put any extra words, like it's just titles and then I have to fill in the gap. And if I have to fill in the gap and do work, then I'm going to keep it moving. So much of building your personal brand is getting the awareness attention that you should be getting because you have a skill set. It's already things that you have. It's just you're bringing awareness to it. And the reason that's important is because in 2023, there is so much noise out there and you
Right.
have to combat the noise. And that's why personal brands, no matter who you are becoming more and more important is because everybody is receiving information in so many different ways than we used to. We used to all plop in front of a TV and get our news. Now we get it TikTok, YouTube, there's
Mhm.
thousands of apps.
Yeah.
So how do you stand out in this world that's so decentralized and is looking in all these places for you? A personal brand.
Yeah, good. Okay, we got more comments coming through. I'm going to put Liam's up here. It says, I tell people that our personal brand is the who, how, and why behind the what reflected on our resumes. We are so much more than our resume bullets. Why hold back from letting people see that? So I had a really great conversation last night with a woman who reached out to me. She happened to be my daughter's former soccer coach on her club team. And she's kind of in that same boat. She's in a position right now, Kevin, where she's like, I don't know if this is what I want, right? And I kept asking her, I said, well, are you starting to build your brand because you have a brand? I mean, she brought her cute little puppy with us, to coffee, and she went to school at Montana for soccer. Like she has all of these great attributes, but I'm like, you're not showcasing any of those things. And I loved what you said that if somebody's going to hire you for a job, they want to know, do you fit in with our culture? Are you a people person? Can I find out more about you aside from all the little things that you think you need to have on your LinkedIn? Can I dive in deeper and get a feel for who you really are? And so many people are like, I'm not going to do that. Like they can just find me. I'm like, yeah, but you're in a sea of all these other people vying for the same position. What's going to make you stand out?
I think, and it goes both ways, right? Like, think about that. Now you have me thinking. Think
Yeah.
about that. Think about that conversation that you have in an interview, y'all. You
Mhm.
know, so much of it has been them interviewing us and not us interviewing them.
Yep.
And then what happens as a result of that? And here's why this is important. Because this is for employees, right? You interview for a role and they give you this idea of what it is. And then 60 days in, that is not the role that you applied for. Things have changed. Okay.
Mhm.
So it's important for you to interview them just as they interview you. And the same goes for the other side. There's often times where an employer will interview an employee who will send their best representative to the interview. And then 60 days in, you're like, yo, who the hell is this? Because this is not who I interviewed.
Right.
And so, right. So it's again, the other part of this and the part of the personal brand, it's not it's not your traditional way of thinking, like everything has to be spot on, everything has to be perfect, everything has to look this way or that because it's the Nike brand or it's the Snickers brand or no.
Mm-hmm.
Personal brands are, you want people to say things like, oh wow, you are the exact same person you are online, offline. And that's like, that's what you want. And the same for the employee. You want that resume, the personality, all, you want it all to match up. You don't want to send your representative to this interview. You want to be you so that everything aligns and matches and there's no misunderstanding as to what's going on here. I've kind of gone on a little tangent here, but
hey, let's bring in some of these comments and say hi to some new folks joining us. Jane, thank you so much for being here. Marnie, joining off of, it looks like your profile here. A full LinkedIn profile, recommendations, endorsements, comments, and personal share posts help people to get to know you. Absolutely. Dr. Zonzi, joining us as well. Hey, so much. I was so happy to see you here. And I like Jane's comment. I want to bring this up. I interviewed for a management role with Tesla many moons ago. The interviewer did not like me asking them questions. So I'm interested to hear, Jane, did you go with that company or did you say, you know what, I'm not going to stick around here? So I like that though. When you flip the switch and you start asking them questions, what happens with that? And are they receptive?
Hit or miss. It's definitely a hit or miss. And because I have client candidates and then organizations that I work with as well. There's it seems to be going both ways. I'm having a lot of my client candidates that are having a lot of success obtaining roles because they post, because they have recommendations to Marnie's point, because they have the endorsements, they have these things that allow people to recognize their personality. And so when people like me are sourcing in the background and you have this landing page that is your LinkedIn and it's filled out and your about section isn't, hey, Tisha Marie is this and Tisha Marie is that, but it's like, it's you telling your story, then I can connect with that. I can resonate with that a little bit more. I can see things that might make sense for this team or this personality. And so, to Jane's point, I'm hearing a lot more people having success with that. But on the flip side, every now and again, I will hear one of my client candidates to tell both sides that in that same interview, there'll be people that will question said personal brand. Hey, why do you post so much? Are you going to be posting so much when you're at this role? Like, right? So then there's like there's a conversation about said personal brand and it becomes like a whole new. And so we're kind of getting into that realm where employers are starting to get a little bit interested about said personal brand that you're building and how that might affect them. And might you be willing to do this? And so it's like, it's a really interesting time for all this.
That's actually a great point, Kevin, because even in the conversation I had with this gal yesterday, she said, I've always wanted to start a podcast, but I wonder if it would be competing or if my employer would think that it's a little off that I would be doing that to try and build up something, because then it's like, hey, if I get big enough here, I might just leave you. I might not stick around at your company if I start doing my own thing and building my brand. And now people are seeking me out, not the other way around. Yeah.
Empowerment, decentralization, the creator economy. I have this banner and it says thought leadership is dead.
I saw that.
Because I think thought leadership is dead. And there's this interesting dichotomy between personal branding and thought leadership. And to your friend that wants to start the podcast but is scared, man, I mean, that's that. I have so many conversations every week about that exact thing with so many people that have so many things to say, but lack the belief or confidence to know if it's going to be taken the right way, and if the people that they're nervous of looking at it
Mm-hmm.
are going to think differently about them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they are. But I think you kind of want that. It's you are going to put yourself on a ledge, and that is the point. And for a great many people out there that are in this place of trying to figure out what to say, how to say it, why to say it, you really don't know until you start, and you start understanding what the reception is like. What are people saying? What's the feedback I'm getting? But if you don't start, you're going to be left behind, because there's this really cool thing called AI that's coming, that's
Yeah.
scaling people's personal brands, that's scaling people's ability to be thought leaders, that's scaling people's ability to be both and walk and chew at the same time. And it feels like the creator economy is really coming on strong, where the operator owner is starting to really be able to use, again, tools that will scale them. I mean, I have automation tools and workflows that let me do kind of the job of 4 people
Mm-hmm.
with a
Right.
personal brand that reaches a whole bunch more people. It feels like that's more the future, even connected to employers. With all the social media tools, all the AI tools, it just feels like that's sincerely where we're going. We're talking blockchain technology. We're talking AR and VR, what Apple is doing. The fact that soon enough we'll probably all be having glasses, and that'll be our computing. We won't have physical computers. Like, everything is gearing towards you having to kind of figure it out on your own. And I feel like the more that people accelerate to that path and are open to using these tools, the faster we'll get.
Yeah. Okay. I want to call out some more of our comments
Yeah,
here.
I know.
Both
I was
saying
looking at them on the side as I was
so
talking.
many. I know. It's so good. Okay. So if people remember you, why not choose what you want to be remembered for?
Yeah.
Good stuff. Thanks so much, Royce, for the comment. Okay, Enrique, he's talking about your hat here. Your hat doesn't match the
Oh,
outfit.
man, he's a hater.
¿Qué pasa
Hermano,
contigo? Hey, I'm learning Spanish, so thank you for that.
there's nothing wrong with me.
Jane putting up, hey, I love to hear when employers are supportive of their team members' personal brands. I know. Why would you think that, like, they're trying to do these things, behind your back? Like, to me, I think it's only going to make you stronger, right?
Crabs in a barrel.
Yeah.
Crabs in
Yeah,
a barrel. Crabs in a
exactly.
barrel. That's all it becomes. I have so many friends that were friends that aren't friends anymore because I create a lot of content online.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
happens.
We're gonna get into that because I really want to break down like your structure for creating content. We've got Liam also saying companies need to think about employees the way sports teams think of
Thank
athletes and
you.
help them market
Thank
their
you.
brand
Thank
and
you.
build affinity
Sorry.
amongst the fan base. High
Hey,
fan talent.
every time that I'm about to get a new job, I feel like I'm a free agent. I feel like when you build a personal brand, thank you. Nailed it. I talk about this, Liam, all the time. That is what I feel like. And that is what I feel other people should feel like. When you build a personal brand, because you have so many connections, you have so many more conversations, there are so many more people aware that you exist, what your services that you can offer, how confident you are in delivering those, how well you can do it. I swear to God, it feels like I'm a free agent. And it's like, hey, you have hats on the table and you're like, you know what? Miami Heat. I'm picking you. But that, like, it almost more so feels like you have those kind of choices at your hand versus having to put in the applications. And that's what the personal brand can do. I haven't had to put in a job application in 6 years because I put my thoughts out there and I can DM people and be like, hey, what's going on here? Hey, what's going on here? It's different. So yes, that's exactly what it feels like. It feels like you're a free agent when you build a personal brand. Well said, Liam.
All right. And Rob, hey, Rob, good to see you. Heck yes, putting yourself on that ledge is carving your own path, dictating your future.
Rob was my first coach ever. I'll just say that.
Yeah, Rob's a great guy. Yay. Yeah, good stuff. Okay, keep blowing up those comments. We'll get back to those too. I want to dive in because today you started off a post and you tagged me in this post about when you're creating posts, create it with tension. And so I want to dive into that because it is so much about storytelling and leading people to what the outcome is. But talk to me, Kevin, talk to us about like what's your framework? So when you sit down to write a post,
Yeah.
how do you start to create that structure? How do you start to format that?
Yeah. So I usually, I'll always describe it that, so when I was 21 and 22, I tried my hand at comedy
Mm-hmm.
and, was practicing for like 3 to 4 years before then. And so the way that content always has made sense to me is from a setup and punchline perspective. And so whenever I'm sitting down to write my content, I'll write it and then I'll step back and I'll think, what's the punchline here?
Uh,
So, in thinking setup and punchline, right? So think of yourself. So my setup is all my skills, all my achievements, the fact that I lived in Japan, that I went to college, that I failed out of college, but then I figured out things later in life and I went back and I graduated and all this, right? All this setup. But that's not my punchline because my punchline is what I'm here to deliver. And so in your post, your punchline is what is that post there to deliver? Who's it there to speak to? So I'll write my post, step back, and then I'll think, okay, what's the hook here? So what's the one line that's going to get people to pay attention? And so when I first wrote this post here today, the first line I had was, uh, and this is because I wrote it and then I posted it and I didn't step back.
mm-hmm.
I wrote, start all your posts with tension.
Mm-hmm.
And then 5 minutes later, I went back to it after I was able to reread it. And then I said, start your post with tension. And I changed it to Die Hard is the best Christmas movie ever.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like that was a better way that's going to grab people's attention. The second line is talking about tension. And I think there's going to be a hell of a lot of people that disagree with the fact that Die Hard is the best Christmas movie ever. So in that first line, I'm bringing a whole bunch of people to my post, as many people as I can. And then as I get deeper and deeper into it, I'm niching down to what I'm actually talking about, which is storytelling. So then
Mm-hmm.
I talk about, okay, here's what a story looks like. We start with tension. Every movie you've ever seen starts with tension. Somebody gets kidnapped. The president gets shot. The 32 people on the 32nd floor of the Nakatomi Tower that are trying to take over the building and steal all the money. Okay, boom. So now there's a quest that needs to go. So as I'm continuing to create my post, now I'm taking you guys on the quest of where I'm trying to get you to, which is the punchline. So we talk about the journey. So okay, so it starts with the journey. There's a call to adventure. In the call to adventure, there's a refusal of the call. You have to figure out all these things about your past. Oh my God, I'm this way, I'm that way. And then little by little, you realize that, oh snap, I had it all inside me. I just needed the confidence to figure it out. Maybe there was somebody along the way that was a guide that showed you that you could do this, right? And then boom, you hit that climax point where you got to make a decision. And they're on the 32nd floor and they're on the ledge and he's holding your wife and he's got a gun. Okay, right? And then boom, it's the ending piece, it's the engagement, it's the feeling you want to leave them with. And like very sincerely, I think of it like a movie. When I write a post, I try to really, and I kind of think in story form. I'm one of those people that has a photographic memory. So as I'm writing it, I sincerely picture a movie if I'm writing a story, and I do my best to picture a human being that the story is for.
Mm-hmm.
Because the better, the more that I can be picturing one human being and how they're going to receive what I'm saying, the more I can get as emotion. The more I can bring out all the elements of the story in its context as though this person is a novice. And then I can make you feel like I was talking to you.
Yeah.
And if I do that, then it's going to resonate. The emotions of it will resonate. And that's how, in a lot of my comments these days, I get people to say, I don't know how I got from the beginning of your post and read all the way to the bottom, but I did, Kevin. And it's
Yeah.
because I use the exact same formula. And it's a tried and true formula. This is nothing new. The hero with 1,000 faces. Every movie that you've ever watched ever does the exact same thing. I ruin 99% of movies for my wife. I'm sorry, hun. I apologize. but it's because it's easy. And if you do it, yes, Die Hard is the best movie ever. Thank you.
Yeah.
But if you apply the framework, I'm serious. You won't even understand, but people will be like, and let me tell you guys, I do stories. If y'all see my content, y'all know I'll do stories in left field, right field, outside the field. I'll go outside the stadium and do a story. So I've tried it in many different ways to make sure, trust me, the framework works. It doesn't matter what you're talking about. And then from there, if you understand the psychology of that and why that works, it is amazing what you can then do and transform your content into. It's all psychology. It's all psychology.
Oh, it is. Okay. So we have some more people joining us. Lincoln, thank you so much for tuning in. Great to see you. Luis from Ventura, Groovy Ventura. Good to have you. And I know Gabe. Hey, Gabe, how are you?
Gabe, my man.
Gabe's tuning in live for the first time in a long time. I know, Gabe. How you been?
I love
Good
Gabe.
stuff. I like what Jane also posted. She said, I just post and hope it resonates with at least one person.
That's it.
You know what, Jane? I'm with you too. I said the same thing. I'm like, I don't really care about all the people and all that. If one person looks at that and it made their day and commented, hey, that was worth it. That was really worth it for me. So,
I know in the beginning, look. Like there's the viral, not viral. Right? Okay. So I post to make money. And I also post to build relationships. I do both. I'm on LinkedIn to make money 100%. But there's a way that you can do it that doesn't feel sleazy and makes it so that you are talking to one person. So let me be honest and open. When I first started, I definitely did want to go viral. I wanted as many people to like and comment, and I love the dopamine. The dopamine helped me so much. And then probably 2 years in of creating content regularly, then I was like, you know what? Like, it's okay. Now I want to figure out like how to get better at this. How do I reach more people? How does my content get better? How can I actually resonate because my content is speaking? How can I not be surface level? And then over time, like today, and I mean this now, I know when I say this, I have a network that I built up, so it's not true because it's not the reality, but I'm going to curse one time. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit if more than one person says they like and comment. If one person likes it and leaves a comment that says they like it, I'm not joking. I'm cool.
Me too.
And if you tell me that it resonated, I'm like, hell yeah. Because that's where I'm at with my content. I know my content's good. I don't need that dopamine anymore to know. Like, it's cool. So now I just want to figure out ways to resonate with the right people. And that's why it's getting like, I'm having so much fun with my content now than before, because before I was still trying to I didn't know the direction, trying to figure it out. What is my punchline? What am I here to deliver? Who am I here to help? Who should I be showing up every day for? And it took me 3.5 years to really know that. But now that I do,
yeah.
Whatever that Jamaican dance is, Pond the River, you know?
It's a dance party up in here. Hey, happy Friday, everybody.
Hey, y'all know I'm going to bring the energy, even if I'm tired, okay?
Well, you are on your fourth cup of coffee, so
fourth and a half,
Death Wish or whatever it is you were drinking earlier.
Yes, Death Wish. That's right.
All right. Well, I know we're running a little low on time here, Kevin. I want to ask you one more question because it was a post that you shared, I think, a month or so ago. But I know that, we have all of these things, the carousels, the videos, the short form, the long form, the blah, 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 like articles, all those things. And I love that you're like, I'm not a carousel person. Like, it works for some people, but I hate do
them. Te odio, if anybody knows. I hate them. Oof.
Yeah.
They're disgusting. Go ahead.
And there are people that's all they post. And I see it and I'm like, another carousel.
And I know what you're doing. And it's weak sauce. Sorry.
It's weak sauce. So I just want to hear from you. And I'm sure other people, if you have questions, definitely put those in the comments so that Kevin and I can get back to you on this. But, when you're creating content, detest carousels. Definitely. I've created a carousel or two and I'm like, I don't know how to do this anymore.
I created two.
I'm laughing because he's like carousel influencers. Carousel influencers. Hey, there's a cool word. There's your next hashtag. Um, and I do see them. Some of them I look at, but I just want to know from you because I love that you were kind of like, I'm just going to do what works for me. I'm going to be a disruptor and go against the status quo of, oh, that's what everybody's doing right now. I have to jump on the bandwagon and do that too.
Can I flip this? Can I ask you
Yes.
why you don't like them first? Why don't you like them?
You know, I don't know. I am more of a video person. I feel like if I'm going to say something, I
That's
just want
true.
to say it from
That's a
my
good point.
heart.
That's a good point.
I feel like honestly, so I'm a broadcast major. Like, so enough said. I like video. I like showing personality on video. And I've really stuck to my content. Kevin, you've seen, I'm doing the Monday motivational push, and that's for pure entertainment, positive messages. What people don't know, honestly, and I like to say this, is I take the sticker that I pull out on Mondays and I actually send it to one of my commenters with a tea bag and a little thank you card.
Oh,
To me,
nice.
that's like how you spread the light. That's
Hell
what you
yes.
do. Some of the
Hell
people on here have actually received that.
Yes.
But, and then the lessons in my Lexus I do every Friday is really just because I'm like, I have a story to tell and I want to share the lesson that I learned. And I've been doing that for years. And people still tune in. People still send me the messages of, yeah, you know what, that resonated with me. I like that story. I like that message. But I like it because that's what I do. I like doing that.
And you can get deep.
Yeah.
You can resonate.
Yeah.
I hate them so much because
so does everybody else here. Look at this. 3 words aside.
when I when I went back to college, one of the reasons I went back to college was to get a job at Amazon because I thought that the smartest people in the world worked at Amazon. Okay.
Yeah.
And when I got there, I learned something, y'all. Here's what I learned. I learned that they used to use PowerPoints. Okay. In all their meetings. And then Jeff Bezos was in a meeting one day. And he was like in the meeting, and this gentleman comes up and he's like, well, here's a new PowerPoint, and here's how we're gonna solve sales. And then Jeff was like, what is that? Like there's nothing in here. There's no information. So from then on, what did they do? They wrote narratives. Yo butt better come to a meeting with a narrative. I want to know the who, how, what, where, why. Guess what a carousel is missing? Information. Actual information. So what is a carousel? A carousel is something that is promoted by LinkedIn and we all know is going to get boosted your reach. That's weak. I don't care. And I know all the homies. I'm not going to call it the one homie. I love you. I won't.
I think I know who you're talking about. He does a lot of carousels.
I love you. I do. And we talk about it. We've talked about it, bro. Stop it. Stop it. Okay. So then I'm like, so that's the case. Well, luckily, if I'm not mistaken, I think LinkedIn has. I talked to the creator coach, and they said they took off the feature. If I'm not mistaken, hopefully, I hope that's actually true. But I know people can still do like the PowerPoint way that they let you to do it, but the carousel feature itself is gone. I'm just look. Every now and again, surface level is cool, but I'm like you. Fridays in the Lexus, I want to dive deep with people. At least my text content, but I do video too. I love video. I'm the same. I'm not a broadcast major, but I've always wanted to be an actor and do all that stuff. So I love being on video, but I more so I love connecting to human beings. Personally, IMHO. Okay, totally get it. So if you're a creative, you know what? Also, okay, last point. Sorry, rant.
Yeah,
I'm rant. Okay. I've only seen one carousel I've ever liked. One. Do you know how many carousels I look at a day? There's one. It came from Luke Matthews like a week ago. He did like this oh God, what are the cartoon, like the cartoons that you like, the Marvel, what are they called? The old things, the books that you used to get with the Marvel characters. Comics.
Books? Yeah.
He did a comic strip like carousel. I didn't pay attention to any of the information. I just thought it was a cool design.
Yeah.
And that's a carousel. I'm not reading any of the, so again, the information doesn't matter. But in my world, words are what make the world go round. So if I'm not paying attention, man, anyway, so that's where I'm like, stop it. Okay. Stop it, y'all. You're not selling anything with a carousel. You're just getting more reach. I know what you're doing, and I just think it's weak. Okay.
It's weak sauce, you mentioned. Yeah. Leanne
Sorry.
saying, How Have You Hate PowerPoints? Amazon is not the place you should
No,
start.
it's not. They like narratives, and so do I.
I like it. I like it. Good. I really look at it as like, do what works for you. If it's something that you love doing, like I've been doing that, even before I had the Lexus, I was doing Convo in my Camry. So I've had a couple cars I'm doing this with. And I see people doing it. There's like Miata Mondays,
Yeah.
Civic
Yeah.
Chats, all these
Yes.
things. So I'm like, kind of like I was a little trendsetter with that. But it's easy. I like it. I'm able to dive into a story and really talk about what's the lesson that I
You know
learned
what?
from it.
That's a great point. Dial it back. Let me say the one piece, because that's a medium that works for you.
Huh?
Hey, if a carousels are a medium that works for you and that makes you feel comfortable and that is how you can show up and post consistently, then forget everything I just said.
Yeah.
Do you, boo? I'm just saying, for me personally, it does not work for me because I like narrative. But so I'm not talking junk about you. If you're doing it out there, keep doing it if it's working. But if it's not working, stop doing it and do what works for you.
Yeah. So there's a good point. Do what works for you. So if you like carousels, go to it.
Have
You
at
like
it,
videos,
boo.
go to it. I like Gabe's point. He's like, I need to start doing carousels with lotto numbers and maybe I'll get more reach. I like it.
You just gave me an idea. I don't want to do it because it would require me creating a carousel, but you gave me an idea, Gabe.
Nice. All right. So Kevin, talk to us a little bit about the Creator Magicians. I know you have a buddy that you're doing this with, Jonad, and yeah, tell us a little bit and then tell us how we find you.
Yes. So Creator Magicians was born out of a need to help agencies create content on social media and connect with their audience that they're trying to target. And so yes, Janayed and me commiserated after kind of losing our jobs about 6 months ago and realizing that we had a hell of a big skill set to help people. And so we went through a process, honestly, of just figuring it out day by day. We met up. That's the result of a lot of the videos that I'm sure you guys have seen where we do some funny things. And little by little, that became its own organization. So born out of that was Creative Magicians, where we now support marketing and recruitment agencies with their content creation. We have a lot of done-for-you services, as well as recruitment that we are now starting with No Degree, helping non-traditional organizations find non-traditional candidates.
I love it. Good stuff. All right. And I have your LinkedIn up there. It's how you can find Kevin, connect with him if you aren't already. Good guy, great content. Kevin, I just have to say that when I see your content, I just love the faces that you make. Like that gets me to stop right there because I'm like, I wonder what Kevin's saying now.
So that's funny. So Janayed is going to come to Seattle. He lives in New York. He's going to come to Seattle in the end of December. And so hey, here's this for you guys out there. My best performing content these last 3 months, to your face's point, every time that my face has matched my hook, it's one of my best performing posts of that week. And if it can be a scroll stopping hook with a scroll stopping face, those are by far. So when he comes, I think we're gonna probably take like 177,000 pictures. We're probably gonna write like 800 hooks. But yeah, I would recommend anybody that's not afraid to put their face out there. If you don't mind making some faces and you can match it to the hook, I'm not joking. It stops the scroll and people will notice. I mean, listen to what she just told you.
Yeah. Yep. You heard it from me. Yeah, I would say that the people's posts that I see that I really do comment, and those are what I feel like they're getting the traction on it. It is their face. It's their picture with the story. Right. And I know that's happened even with some of my posts too, where I'm like, okay, if I'm going to tell a story and I'm going to hook it with that, then yeah. Sometimes it's just a feel good post. Sometimes it's like yesterday, I'm like hanging with my clients who just celebrated 20 years. Awesome. There's no educational anything in that, just to say celebration.
But it's to that point, always to bring it, to the point of the personal brand.
Yeah.
LinkedIn, guys, is a 24/7 handshake. It is this right here. Your content, right? Every single post that you write is this right here. All you're doing is giving an opportunity for somebody else to do this right here with you. And so in my brain, every time I write a post, I think about that, right? I think about that one person. And that's why I think about one person. And honestly, I only give a shit about one person. Because if one person's willing to extend their hand back with me, well, that's a relationship we can build. And then who knows what comes out of that? I've had so many relationships built here that became this other thing there with so many other people and other entities. But if you think like that, then stop putting other gifts on there. Create your own gifts. Don't put other memes on there. Create your own memes and have that personal brand, my face, whatever. Let that resonate out there over and over and over and over and over and over, because we all know that it takes like 7 to 15 touch points before people know, like, and trust you.
Yeah.
If all you're doing is text posting, it's hard. It takes a little bit longer. You can accelerate that with video, voice, and face. All right.
There's the clip. I'm tagging it right now. So StreamYard has this new feature, Kevin, where I can just press B every single time you say something. I'm like B, 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 B.
Really?
Yeah. It's pretty cool. So I don't have to take notes anymore.
Oh my God.
Press B and it marks it for me.
I'm about to be back in StreamYard then. That's beautiful. Actually, just on that alone, like I'm actually excited to host my own podcast now. Yeah.
And I like that you can stream it to your own audience too for more exposure. It's awesome.
When you said that this morning, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna lie. I am excited to kind of just do some lives just here and there now. Like,
yay.
Thank you.
Good stuff. All right. Well, thanks so much, Kevin Logan Jr. for being here. Loved our conversation. Thank you all so much for diving into the comments with us. You got me laughing. Kevin and I were just joking, laughing.
Yeah. Always appreciate when folks come to talk and chat with us. Thank you.
Oh, always. It just makes it so much more conversational and fun. And yeah, good stuff. Well, next week, taking the week off for Thanksgiving, we'll be back December 1st. With another Tisha Talks Live. And again, thanks so much for being here. We hope you have a great Thanksgiving week if you are celebrating next week. And
enjoy that turkey, that chicken, that Mexican food, Chinese food, whatever y'all eat.
Whatever.
All
right, Kevin, what's your favorite Thanksgiving dish as we wrap up?
Oh, snap. Oh, my mother. Oh my God. Her stuffing. Woo. And then the stuffing and turkey sandwiches the next day. Ooh, ooh.
Okay,
hey, you ain't never seen tryptophan like this.
Okay, cranberry or gravy?
Gravy.
Yeah.
Turkey or chicken?
Turkey. I gotta go with I have chicken all the time. I gotta have turkey.
We've been doing chicken the last couple of years because somebody says that my turkey's dry.
Somebody.
I don't know.
Well, Kevin, you've been so much fun. Thank you so much for being on Tisha Talks Live today. And we'll catch you guys later. Have a great weekend.
Bye, y'all. Happy Friday, y'all.
Bye.